Hi there, Geraldine Ryan Lodge here. I am here to wish you a happy new year and to tell you about a brand new ghost story collection, which is volume 2 of this book, which is a bestseller constantly ever since it was published. There is now volume 2 of that book, and it's already out and available to purchase all over the place. Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, Amazon United Kingdom, Chapters, Indigo, all over the place in paperback and Kindle. So I'm very, very pleased to tell you about the recent release of that book. I'm going to give you a few peeps into the stories in the book, which will certainly pique your interest. One of the stories is set in true story, set in St. Pierre and Miquelon, concerning a 1930s Prohibition era love triangle between a girl from Marystown who worked in St. Pierre and a wine merchant's son who she got involved with. This girl was engaged to a man from Marystown. However, she and this man, this wine merchant's son, became involved, and there was trouble. Trouble to the effect that it had severe paranormal repercussions in later years. The wine merchant's son, he and her fiancé became involved in a terrible quarrel, and the unfortunate wine merchant's son had an accident while this quarrel was happening. So many decades later, this unfortunate time, this happening, had repercussions, like I said, on people who were vacationing in St. Pierre and stayed at this unique Prohibition era hotel, which had been built from liquor crates from the Prohibition era. So that is a true story, and that is told to the fullest. The full story is included in my new collection, Haunted Towns, More Ghost Stories of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is the second volume to this best-selling collection. Another story involves an airport story, a true story which happened at St. John's International Airport. The ghost child of the escalator, a couple from the Great Northern Peninsula witnessed a child on the escalator, and well, you'll have to read the story to find out what happens there. Suffice it to say, it wasn't human. I mean, it was spirit. So these are true stories. Another one, a really horrific true story about a woman who gave away her husband's furniture after he died. And this mover was moving her, and she told him, okay, you can have that, it's all right, it's handmade, it's a gift to you for doing me this favor. He had done her a favor of moving extra materials or something, and she wanted to reward him for his kindness, so she gave him something. I won't say what it was. It was property of her dead husband who had recently passed. So this mover was traumatized, that's putting it mildly, over this property that had been given to him by this woman, by this widow, recent widow. That's another really scary, creepy story. In fact, it's probably one of the creepiest in the book, but they're all true stories, and they're amazing. And Newfoundland is still pretty steeped in the paranormal, that's for sure. And these stories were submitted to me and sent to me by other people, and they're absolutely fascinating, amazing, intriguing, creepy to the extreme, and they're quite something. So if you want to, like I said, partake of the full content of this book, it's volume 2 of the best-selling and still best-selling first volume, Haunted Towns, Ghost Stories, Newfoundland and Labrador. This is the second volume from which these stories are taken from. Here's the cover. Another teaser, The Honeymoon Ghost. The Honeymoon Ghosts. A couple of decades ago, and this again is had repercussions in as time went by. A taxi driver ended up driving the spirit of a man just married and who had just died after he got married, he and his wife. He ended up driving him to central Newfoundland as a special affair at a town. So he drives him to central Newfoundland, or at least he thought it was a real person. So this is also a true story. This is really creepy, really, really creepy as well. So, and another one here, most of Newfoundlander, or a lot of Newfoundlanders and Newfoundlanders away and so on, are always fascinated and interested in mummers. It's part of our culture. So there is a mummer story in this. It's called A Heartbreaking Mummer's Ghost. And this is another story of someone who was about to get married, and her prospective husband was killed in a logging accident. So she moves on with this fast-talking, silver-tongued swashbuckler, and she moves on a little too fast. So he comes back to her first fiancé, in the visage of a mummer at a festival, and this goes on and on. There's all kinds of dangers that I'm not going to tell the whole story, but there's a reason why he came back anyway. And this is also set in St. Pierre, by the way. So there's several little taste buds here for you, and I hope you will enjoy the book. Like I said, it's available everywhere, all over the world, in paperback and Kindle, and it's further more ghost stories. It's the second volume of this best-selling one, Haunted Towns, Ghost Stories, Newfoundland and Labrador. And here is the cover. Hope you can see it. But anyway, it's just go online and you can see the book and see everything about it. And like I said, it's in paperback and Kindle, so it can be ordered from anywhere in the world, from Amazon, because Amazon's worldwide. And it can be ordered from or picked up at Chapters Indigo when our distribution is complete. I'm still waiting on the shipment because it's coming from the US, so I'm still, hopefully it'll be here soon. But anyway, that's all the information on it, and I hope it intrigues you enough to check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you a very, very happy New Year.